If the world hates you, just remember that it has hated me first. If you belong to the world, then the world would love you as its own. But I chose you from this world, and you do not belong to it. That is why the world hates you. Whoever hates me, hates my Father also. They would not have been guilty of sin if I had not done among them the things that no one else has done. As it is, they have seen what I did, and they hate both me and my Father. They hated me for no reason at all.
Hello and welcome, everyone. We are here, Anger chapter 1156. I'm excited to read the long summary chat. You guys know the drill. I would love to put the raws on the screen, but if I put the raws on the screen, then YouTube is going to smite the stream and knock us offline and give me a copyright strike. But God bless everyone here. God bless One Piece TCG. Call him TCG for short. Vincent, God bless. Tay, God bless, bro. Eric, God bless. PB and J, God bless. I'm glad to see everyone here. Let's get a prayer going. That way we can hop straight into the long summary. I'm excited. Now, guys, this stream might not be too long because one, I'm pretty tired. Two, I have to get up really early tomorrow. Okay. And three, I'm not too sure if there's going to be a lot to talk about today, but either way, this does seem like a very fun chapter. Maybe we'll read the additional spoilers because we didn't go over this last stream, and then we'll read the long summary. But without further ado, let's jump into a prayer, and then, of course, we will go straight into the spoilers. I'm excited, chat. I hope everyone's doing great today. I hope everyone's having a beautiful morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are feeling enlightened and strengthened and peaceful. All right. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, of all things visible and invisible. I believe in one Lord, Jesus Christ, the only Son of God, begotten of the Father, born of the Father before all ages, God from God, light from light, true God from true God, begotten, not made, consubstantial with the Father. Through him all things are made. For us men and for our salvation, he came down from heaven, and by the Holy Spirit was incarnate of the Virgin Mary and became man. For our sake, he was crucified under Pontius Pilate. He suffered death and was buried. He rose again on the third day in accordance with the scriptures. He ascended into heaven. He is seated at the right hand of the Father. He will come down again in glory to judge the living and the dead, and his kingdom will have no end. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Lord, the giver of life, who proceeds from the Father and the Son, who with the Father and the Son is adored and is glorified, who has spoken through the prophets. I believe in one holy, Catholic, and apostolic church. I confess one baptism for the forgiveness of sins, and I look forward to the resurrection of the dead in the world to come. Amen. My Lord and my God, I thank you with all my heart. Thank you for every breath, every morning, every mercy. Thank you for your cross, your shedding your blood to save me. Thank you for loving me even when I didn't love you, for waiting patiently while I wandered, and for calling me back with tenderness and truth. Thank you for the grace that keeps me standing. Thank you for your word that gives me life. Lord Jesus, you did not come to condemn, but to save. You touched the sick and they were healed. You spoke and the storms stopped. You commanded demons and they fled. You saw the unseen, loved the rejected, forgave the sinful. You met the Samaritan woman at the well. You knew her past, yet you didn't shame her. Instead, you gave her living water. She left her water jar. She left her shame, her sins, her old self, and ran to bring others to you. Lord, help me leave my jar too. Let me stop clinging to my past, my habits, my guilt. Make me new like you made her new. You healed the blind. Lord, open my eyes to see truth and beauty. You cleansed the leper. Cleanse me from the stains of sin that cling to my heart. You raised the dead. Raise my soul when it grows cold and distant. You forgave the woman caught in adultery. Forgive me, Lord, and teach me to sin no more. You multiplied the bread. Multiply love, patience, and kindness in me. You walked on water. Help me trust in you when everything around me feels unstable. You calmed the storm. Speak peace into my anxiety, my fears, my temptations. You cast out demons. Drive away every dark thought, every hidden chain in my life. Lord, I ask you, change me. Give me a heart full of love, a spirit of deep humility, a soul that longs for holiness. Make me gentle when I want to fight, silent when I want to gossip, faithful when I want to give up. Christ Jesus, I raise you on high. I glorify you above all things. I love you above all things. Allow me to be the sacrifice for your glory. I give everything to you. I dedicate everything to you. I am dirt without you, Christ Jesus. You are everything I want to be. You are the thing I seek most and the thing I desire and yearn for most in this entire universe. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. Amen. Chat, it is time, baby. It is time. More spoilers. Rox declares that Elbaf is the keystone of his plan, to supplant the world government. He wants Harold to eat Elbaf's legendary devil fruit so he can bring his scheme to fruition. Rox vows that everyone involved will witness the summit of the world. Now, key thing, I accidentally deleted the short summary spoilers, but if you guys were watching the short summary spoiler stream, it's interesting because when you guys know, when we were reading it, right, we all kind of understood it as like, oh, Rox wants 2 devil fruits. Blackbeard had 2 devil fruits. So, oh, Rox had a plan of eating 2 devil fruits, having 2 different powers. You guys remember that? But then when we read this, it's a totally different thing. It's more like Rox, like technically he wanted 2 fruits, but not eating them himself. It's like he wanted 2 fruits. He knew they were powerful and he needed Harold to have one of them. He wanted Harold to have one of them. So this is a totally different vibe than what we had yesterday. Leon, God bless, bro. Anthony, God bless you, bro. Vincent, God bless you, bro. Tay, God bless you, bro. Hope you're doing good. So this is a totally different vibe than what we heard yesterday. And I do have a take. I do have a much better grasp. Shout out to Dawn of Ascension. I have a much better grasp on the situation of Elbaf's legendary devil fruit and Loki. Okay, I have a much better position because yesterday, you guys know, when we read the short summary, I was thinking like, okay, maybe Rox had the Yami Yami no Mi, and maybe the legendary fruit of Elbaf is the Nika fruit. But I completely changed my mind. In fact, I would say that there's no chance. Hold on, we got to zoom in for this one. I would actually say that there's no chance, zero. There's no chance, zilch, 0% chance that the legendary fruit of Elbaf is the Nika fruit. There's no chance. And we'll go over that today. Shout out to Dawn of Ascension because we did talk about it a little bit. She had my mind jogging. I mentioned a few things. She mentioned a few things. But moving on, Roger and Garp each unleashed a named technique. Follow-up note: Roger's move is brand new, while Garp's is one we've seen before. The leaker says both attacks look tremendously impressive, and each fighter managed to wound each other. The clash still generated powerful hockey shockwaves that made the entire scene feel overwhelmingly intense. Silver Axe, a member of the Rocks Pirates, is a gangster by profession, known as Fierce/Savage. He wears a kimono similar to that of Golden Lion Shiki, and he is Shiki's rival. He is feared in the new world. I like that. That sounds so cool. He is feared in the new world. Sounds sick, bro. But hey, I can't be the only one, bro. Golden Lion Sanji, Silver Axe Zoro. Come on, bro. That's heat, bro. And he wears a kimono. We got Golden Lion Sanji, Silver Axe Zoro, and the rivals. Another member of the Rocks Pirates is Babel, a giant catfish man. So I wonder if anyone's going to make like a Tower of Babel theory. You know, when I see Babel, the first thing I think of is Tower of Babel. Hey, Jin, God bless. I'm happy to see you. Eric, God bless, brother. RBBP, God bless, bro. Hope you're doing good, man. Zideko, God bless, bro. Oda made it clear who the top 3 in that era were. Bum Goku is finished. You really? Would you guys say that Sengoku's a bum? I mean, like, bro is Fleet Admiral. Can he really be a bum? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, he was an admiral, right? And he ascended to Fleet Admiral. Can he actually be a bum? How? Like, I wouldn't, like, me, myself, I don't really care for Sengoku. That's like a character I'd never really talk about. I don't really scale him. But like just off the fact that bro was an admiral and became a fleet admiral, I mean, like that matters for something, right? That automatically puts his prime above current Sanji. So would we call Sanji a bum? Think about that. All right, guys, as I said, I really want to put the Raws on the screen. Chat, trust me. I would love to put the Raws on the screen. I would love to. But if I do that, YouTube is going to literally smite the stream, and I don't want to deal with that. Okay? They will literally take the stream down. Does anyone have a picture of the full summary? Because it's not loading. I think Pupi's deleted the tweet. Hope you guys are doing good, man. I got to be careful scrolling past the Raws, bro. So, look, Pupi's tweeted this, right? The more details, right? But then, like, it doesn't load. Maybe OP Fanatic tweeted it. Hold on. Let me look up OP Fanatic on Twitter. Maybe he tweeted it. Not a bum, but disliked. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care for him. I'm not really that interested in Sengoku. I don't really care for him. But I wouldn't say he's a bum. Like, I mean, like, bro's literally Fleet Admiral. Like, he can't be a bum. If Sengoku's a bum, then you got to say, like, a lot of other characters are bums as well. Okay, I found it. We'll use this one. Let's use this image. Right? Wouldn't you guys agree? If Sengoku's a bum, then you might as well say like Sanji's a bum because he's not Admiral level. Pretty much like most of the Straw Hats are bums. I mean, like a lot of the cast are bums then. We don't know how strong Kong and Zephyr were. I mean, yeah, we can't necessarily scale Kong with precision. But again, wasn't he a Fleet Admiral at one point? Like, that matters for something. They're not going to put Fodder as Fleet Admiral, right? And he had to have been Admiral as well. Are they going to put Fodder in the Admiral position? I think that's a pretty silly argument. And, Leon, I don't think you're arguing that. I don't think you're saying that. I'm just, like, saying to the chat. Would we actually believe that the Marines would put Fodder bums in the Admiral position? I don't know. I don't know if I would subscribe to that. It's a little strange. D, what's good, bro? God bless. Summary for this week's chapter. Everyone's aura farming. Yeah, bro. Yo, man, the Rocks Pirates has Like, they have the most insane lineup I've ever seen, bro. Like, look at Zebek, then look at Shiki, then look at Kaido, then look at Big Mom, then look at Silver Axe. Yo, the Rocks Pirates, they have the most insane aura I've ever seen, bro. I so wish I could put the Raws on the screen. I would 100% do it, but I can't. Like, have you guys seen the panels of see exactly, Zedeko? I 100% agree. Silver Axe is one of the coldest designs in OP, bro. It's such a sick design, man. It's so cool. If you guys haven't seen it, my Discord server, go to the channel called New Spoilers, and then there should be a link in there for the entire chapter's Raws. So you guys could look at the Raws for the entire chapter. Look for the panel with Silver Axe in it. Bro, it's so tough, man. It reminds me, like, imagine you got Smoker, right? But then you made Smoker look cooler. It's like a cooler Smoker, like Smoker, but like swordsman with tattoos. It's so cool. Eli, God bless. I think I saw you message earlier. I forgot to point it out. God bless, Eli. Foxy Pirates body the Rocks Pirates. You don't even get the full soundboard, bro. Oda created an admiral just for Zebek to kill. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, this dude was literally created just to... Bro was born just to die. Yo, this character, whatever his name is, right? This admiral, right? Just think about this for a second, right? We're talking about One Piece, right? This character was made just to be a Zebek victim. That's the only reason this guy was made. Yeah, it's silly because the admirals were strong enough to handle business around the world of OP. Yeah, exactly. Now I there's a lot of characters in One Piece that I think are bums, but not necessarily for power level, more about like persona. Like, I think Kid is just like way over his head. And people might argue, oh, well, Luffy has a lot of courage. Luffy sometimes can be egotistical with the villains. Okay, but Luffy also knows when to pick and choose his battles. This no pun intended, this kid, right? He doesn't know when to pick and choose his battles. Bro got his pack smoked by Shanks' crew, the Red Hair Pirates, twice. Like, what an idiot. Like, didn't you learn the first time, buddy? Like, calm down, buddy. Calm down. You went against Big Bomb for one, and for two, you had Law there to help you. Like, kid, relax, bro. Relax. Calm down. You don't think just because you worked with Law to take down Big Mom, all of a sudden you could take down Shanks. Like, what's in his pipe? What is in his pipe? What is he on, chat? Someone tell me. What is Kid on? It's insane, bro. And you know what's crazy? When everyone was hating on Kid, right? When everyone was hating on Kid during Wano Weekly, right? When no one liked Kid, right? I was defending Kid. If you don't believe me, go to my original channel and watch my live reaction streams to the chapters. Go watch my live reactions. I was defending Kid, bro, in Wano Weekly. What does he do? He turns around, goes straight to Shanks. So stupid. Suicide mission. Big Mom pack. He found Smokey's stash. Oh, God bless, bro. Lucas, God bless, man. Who has better feet? Rayleigh got her boa. I think he meant his boa. Rayleigh got his boa while Gabon went inside a giant cave. Yo, that's actually insane. That's an insane comment. I'm not even going to respond to that, bro. I'm not even responding to that. Okay, excuse me. Let's read this by Mr. Readon. Okay, more details of the chapter by myself. All right, Readon. Like, this man Readon loves to mention that, by the way. More details of chapter 1138 by myself. More details of chapter 1146 by myself. Like, we get it, bro. We get it. You're putting out the long summary. Like, geez, man. Like, you put out like these trash hints. You take forever to drop the long summary. Then you gotta be like, oh yeah, by the way, Lucas, By the way, Nomad, by the way, all details by myself. Make sure you know that. That's going to be the first thing you read. By myself, by the way. You need to know that. By myself. I know I said it 11:51, 11:50, 11:49, 11:48, 11:47, 11:46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 11:39, 38, 37, 36, 35. But you got to know. You got to know. All details by myself. Like, Chad, do I have a mental illness? Nomad, God bless. The one and only Johan. You got to start calling him Wohan. Wukong. Yo, Johan, but Wohan, Wukong. Whoa. Johan Caravan Wukong. I'm glad there's no in a super epic double leg spread. Dude pats himself on the back with one hand and chat, never goon. Never, ever, ever goon. Don't do it. All right. Anyways, chapter of 19 pages, 2 color pages of the color spread, and 17 black and white. Okay. Narrator explains the popularity of the Kuja pirates was so strong during the era of the flashback that it wouldn't make sense to leave Kuja out of the story. Nah, bro. Oda, you just had this is just cope. This is literally just cope. You know, like you wanted to draw some young women dressing all scantily, right? Dressing like straight harlots, right? Dressing like straight harlots, right? And you needed an excuse to do that because you know we're in the middle of a Loki flashback. We are in the middle of a Rocks flashback. Most fans are going to be reading these chapters and they're going to be like, yo, why are we reading Kuja Pirates? So what does Oda have to do? He has to cope. Oda has to say, oh, well, it wouldn't make sense to leave out the Kuja pirates because they were so famous. Yo, Oda, stop the cap. Stop the cap. You just wanted to draw a bunch of harlots, bro. You wanted to ignite the passions of your readers. You wanted to ignite the passions of lust. So what do you say? Oh, it wouldn't make sense because they were so famous. They were popular. Bro, we want to see Zebek. We want to see the God Valley incident. We want to see how, that the end of the incident, the conclusion of the incident, how it went down. Why are you drawing? Whatever, bro. Kuja pirates were an idle group of rough ladies. Their bounty posters were being sold for a high price and getting photos taken or being stalked. Bro, what? Being stalked because stalked became another Tuesday for them. Yo, that's insane. Them getting stalked became another Tuesday. And Shakuyaku, who later became known as the Empress, eventually, I think they meant eventually got to a whole other league of popularity compared to the others. Kuja and the Roger Pirates clashed because Roger wanted to take Shakuyaku with them. But Shakuyaku refused and hit Roger. He had a funny bump on his head. Shakuyaku. Why does it say Shaki, bro? Man, I can't stand these leakers, bro. The Shishibukai. Bro, just say warlords. Shakuyaku. Bro, just say Shaki. Red hair. Bro, just say Shanks. Like, what are you on, man? Yeah, I'm a real One Piece fan. I don't call them the warlords. I call them the Shishibukai. Like, bro, if you don't get your... Mario, God bless, bro. Hikiko Mori, God bless, man. I saw your comment earlier on the video. We need to see Shaku. You mean Shakuyaku? Shaki? Or you mean Shiki? I don't even know anymore, bro. Already, Roxy's Beck by its name is linked to the rock. Therefore, Sun Wukong was born of an egg, but originally inspired by Mithara, born in the rock. Therefore, it is linked to the Becky family. I thought Sun Wukong was born from a rock, not born from an egg. Abigna, God bless, bro. That's read on for you. Yeah, the Shishibukai, bro. let's see. Shakuyaku also told he meant to say told Roger, not said Roger. Shakuyaku also told Roger, I belong to no one. Then Gloriosa hugged Roger, saying, Roger, I'm saying I love you. But Roger told her, get out of the way, Gloriosa. I can't see Shaki. Bro, that's messed up, man. Rayleigh was the only one in the Roger Pirates who was not entranced by Shakuyaku's beauty. So Shakuyaku told him they could take all of their treasures. Then Shakuyaku winked at Rayleigh just before leaving, and Rayleigh finally blushed. Garp used Meteor Fist against the Roger Pirates' ship, and Roger used a new attack called Wild Soul. Ooh. Wild Soul. Interesting. So Roger has Divine Departure, Wild Soul. Are those the only attacks that Roger has? Like the only named attacks? Does anyone know? I think the only named attack he's shown so far, like aside from this, is Divine Departure. Right? Can someone confirm? I don't see it on the wiki. I don't even see Divine Departure on the wiki. Is it a separate page? Dude, I don't even see it on here. I think there might be another page for him. Don't like the One Piece characters on the wiki, they have like one page for like their information and then like one page for like their abilities and stuff like that. Abilities. Dude, I don't even see Divine Departure listed on here. Look, Divine Departure, it literally doesn't even pop up on here. How do we get to Roger's attacks? Like his abilities. I don't know. Whatever. Chat, is Divine Departure his only named attack besides this one? Yo, Elijah, God bless, bro. Got the whole world to move off some words. Jordan, God bless, bro. To my knowledge, yes. The Kage Bushin, nah, bro, just shout out. Yeah, like that too. Like, like the only reason Naruto was winning all of his early battles was because of the Kage Bushin no Jutsu. Bro, if you don't just say Shadow Clone, like, you're goofy, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, it makes me think of like those, no one watched this stream get butthurt or sensitive. Chat, it's just a joke. Okay, don't take this personally. But like that kind of energy reminds me of like, the kind of heavy set white guys, long black hair that are like total weebs. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, think about like like a heavier white guy, blonde hair, long blonde hair, has some anime katana. Bro walks into the open mic stream. I have a theory about the Shishibukai. Yo, let someone tell me that in an open mic. I'm kicking them out of the open mic. I'm straight up kicking them off stream, bro. One of you guys try that. I dare you. Hop into the open mic and say some goofy, the Shishibukai. Oh, the Kage Bushin no Jutsu. I dare you guys. Fedora, exactly. Milady, like, bro, what? I drop kick them. That's insane. All right, let's continue. Where do we leave off? Wild Soul, in Japanese, one of the 4 sub-spirits that human, I think they meant humans have, not human has, that humans have according to a Shinto theory. While we see Roger and Garp fighting in an epic double page. Hey, you're wrong. Who was it earlier in the chat, literally like 5 minutes ago, that was like, yo, at least Read On stop saying the epic double page spread thing? You're wrong. Read On will literally never stop doing that. Is that like his gag? Yo, Ninja Stewart, God bless, brother. Do you think we will see God Valley flashback in this current flashback? I mean, I'm 50-50. If Oda blue balls, I would not be surprised. But if we do see it, I mean, it makes sense. Who was it? I'm looking for that chat message. Someone 5 minutes ago was I found it. This man D said, "I'm glad there's no in a super epic double page spread." You're wrong, brother. You're wrong, D. You're wrong. You really think Redon will stop doing that? Come on now. That's like his epithet. That's like his motif. That's his swag. You know, in an epic double page spread, we see Sanji nose bleeding to a 16-year-old. You're laughing at that? Ah, Sanji fan laughing at that. Ha ha ha. I even got the Sanji fans chuckling at that one. L with the 2. Thank you, brother. God bless. Opium evil is your Hakuba. Hey, you know what? That might actually be true. When I get angry enough, when I get irritated and pissed off enough, you know, the opium evil comes out, bro. I can't withhold it. I can't hold it back. It's my Hakuba, you know? It just comes out of me, bro. It just gets unleashed. Why do you have to put me on blast, man? Why do you have to put me on blast, L? Thank you so much. God bless. Yo, chat, you know what's crazy? I was looking at yesterday's stream, right? The one we did of 1156 short summary stream, the short summary spoilers. Guys, tell me why YouTube took 70% of that stream, bro. Literally, I looked at all the memberships and all the super chats. YouTube took 70% from me. That is insane, bro. YouTube is leaving me with crumbs. They literally took over half the revenue. That is insane, yo. And it's sad because like Smokey was going insane. Bro was dropping like 20s, 50s. Bro was going nuts. YouTube took 70% of it. Absolutely insane. Usually they take like 60. Oh, only 60%. 60, 45, 35, you know? It depends on the person's platform. But they took 70% yesterday. Insane, bro. They left me with the crumbs. But anyways, L, God bless, bro. Don't badmouth YouTube, bro. I'll badmouth whoever I want. Hakuba. When I say Shishibukai, my roommates are always laughing. Yeah, bro. Yeah, if you walk around calling them Shishibukai, you need to be roasted. You need to be bullied. I know I'm joking. Kidding. Not really. You need to be bullied. Where do we leave off? While we see Roger and Garp fighting in an epic double page, narrator explains that it was during the era of the flashback when Roger, Garp, Rock's youthful blood clashed for the first time. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of like an insane lineup, bro. That's an insane era. You got Roger maybe around his prime, right? Which, by the way, I don't know. That's actually questionable because God Valley incident was 39 years ago. But Roger died 20 years ago, and Roger wasn't that old when he died. So, I don't know. Let's just say, you know, for conversation's sake, bro, you had Prime Zubek. You had Prime Roger. You had Prime Garp. That's insane. Yo, I would not even be a pirate at that point. If I was in the One Piece world during their era, I wouldn't even bother. Why would I? Yo, I'm going to go hit the Grand Line and run into Garp? Prime Garp? Bro, I'm going to somehow escape from Garp. I turn my back. Prime Zebek is standing right there. Like, what? I'm like 1 inch from death. They use the Ope Ope to me to teleport me away so I survive. Then Prime Roger runs into me. Like, yo, I would not even bother being a pirate. That's worse than the yo. Is it just me or is that worse than this era? Like, does this era have a Prime Garp, a Prime Roger, a Prime Zebek? And I know technically we could argue about Prime Roger or whatever, but still. And same thing, Tenryu Bito. If you walk up to me and like, yo, You know who's so evil? You know who reminds me of Israel? The Tenryubito. Yo, you are I can't say that word. You're lame. You're a bot. You're a weeb. You're a dork. You're an otaku, not the good one. Why are you calling them Tenryubito? Just say celestial dragons. If you're lazy, just say CDs. That's what I do most of the time. I'm tired of typing out celestial dragons. Bro, I'm just calling them CDs. If people don't know what I mean, then oh well. Because I'm not calling them Tenryubito and I'm not typing out celestial dragons all the time. The CDs. Also, Tenryubito tax refund is insane. That's insane. That is actually nuts. Uflix and NetTube. The Tenryubito took that 70%. Exactly, bro. Exactly. They literally ran up and they're like, yo, I'm gonna take hey, give me that. Yo, they took 70% of the revenue from my last stream yesterday. You know what they told me? They took 70% of my revenue last stream. And you know what they told me? They're like, sorry, oy vey, this stream was promised to me 4,000 years ago. Like, what? Brother, I wasn't even born 3,000, 4,000 years ago. Chat, you're distracting me. Stop. Stop derailing the stream. We're supposed to be talking about One Piece. We're supposed to be family friendly. We're supposed to be politically correct. You know, we gotta blend in, you know, with the other channels, you know, with the One Piece community. We gotta blend in. We can't say anything edgy. We can't talk about politics. Okay. That's one hell of a heavenly tribute. Yo, that's insane. CD's nuts. Okay. All right. Seriously, chat, focus. In Elbaf, Ida asked Loki to come live with her in Hyrule, but Loki refused. He just wanted to go to sea with rocks. In Hachinosu, a man arrived to the island and attacked some random pirates. He was Kyo the Yakuza, later known as Silver Axe and Shiki's rival. He wasn't part of the Rocks Pirates yet. Kyo, okay, well, you just said he was Silver Axe. Why are you calling him Kyo then? Kyo was a huge guy with a big tattoo on his chest. He wore, hold on, I don't know if I could even show this panel. He wore a kimono decorated with axes, sunglasses, and a huge axe in the back. His design is similar to Zephyr from One Piece Film Z. Chapter ends with all the Rocks Pirates in the skull of Hachinosu and in another amazing double page. Yo, read on. You really had to type that twice in those spoilers. Usually you just put one mention of an epic double page, Fred. You really had to hit us with that twice. We are introduced to the new Rocks Pirate members, Charlotte Linlin, Strusen, Kaido, John, and Barbell. I thought it was Babel. Is Barbell or is it Babel? Barbell is this new guy we saw in God Valley. But in this chapter, his hair looks like flames. Interesting. Rocks explained to his crewmates what he needed for his plan. One, and that's another thing. Yo, I love Read On. You just keep proving me correct. You keep proving me true. You know what else irritates me, chat? This. Rocks explained to his crewmates what he needed for his plan. One, find 2 Akuma no Mi. Why don't you just say devil fruits? Like, I don't get it. You say Tenryubito, just say celestial dragons. You say Shishibukai, just say warlords. Akuma no Mi, devil fruits. And you know what's sad is every single time a spoiler has the phrase Akuma no Mi, it's always like some new guy that doesn't know what Akuma no Mi is, or like they don't understand that Akuma no Mi is devil fruit, that ends up cooking up an entire theory about it just to later realize that Akuma no Mi means devil fruit. Read On, I'm sick of you, bro. Like, we love you, Read On. We appreciate you, but like, really? He's Japanese. They don't use the English. Bro, I thought he was Spanish. I'm pretty sure Read On is Spanish. What's good? Amir's. Is it Amir's or is it Emery's? Hey Eddie, how come you stopped doing the regular uploads? I think do exclamation mark inactive. Silver Axe is the one who created the whirlwind, and he is the man with the fire scar because he is a fish. Wait. I thought Silver Axe was a man, and then Barbell was the fish. Because he is a fish, so to the whirlwind, moreover, it is the feet who says it is in the who says it is who says it who is in the crew of Teach. I thought wait, no. Barbell is the fish, not Silver Axe. All right, anyways, Rox explained to his crewmates what he needed for his plan. 1, find 2 devil fruits. One of them is an Elbaf. Rox wanted Harold to eat it so that fruit can achieve its true potential. 2, find the Galila pirates. Rox says, listen, Elbaf is crucial to taking the Holy Land. Don't believe me? Well, get lost now. Whether you want to follow me on the Destiny Day is up to you. But if you have made up your mind, then tag along. I will show you what's on the summit of the world. Break next week. And that's the long summary. Now, someone did at me on Twitter. They mentioned me on Twitter because like they had a theory about Zebek saying that Elbaf is important for him taking over the world. But my understanding of this is like with Elbaf, right? If you control Elbaf, you would be able to have like the strongest faction competing with other pirates or the world's government, maybe even toppling the world government, because the giants and ancient giants and giant warrior pirates are so strong. And shout out to the guy on Twitter that had a different idea. I think he said like Rox wants to take control of Elbaf because there's a tree. There's like the Adam tree on Elbaf, and then that tree connects to Marijwa or something like that. Like, I don't mean any hate, no disrespect or anything, but I think it's more about what's in Elbaf. That's why like hundreds of chapters ago, Big Mom was saying that if she could get Elbaf under her control, if she could have all Elbaf giant warrior pirates in her crew, she would have the strongest crew. She would take over the world. Now we see in modern day with Shamrock and Gunko, they're saying the same thing. They want to control Elbaf because that's where the strong giant warriors are. That's what it's about. So when Rox turns around and Rox says, yeah, Elbaf is important to whatever, toppling the world government, whatever, I think it's more about how the force of its people are so powerful rather than like, the tree leading to Marijwa or Uranus. I don't think it's anything like that. Anime Lunch Table, God bless. I think the Uranus argument, I think like the most, like when you think about all the options, right? Because I have videos about Uranus being on Elbaf. I put out those videos a while ago, right? But when you think about all the options for Uranus, I find that the option with the highest probability is the idea that Emu and the world's government used Uranus to destroy Lelucia. I think that's the highest probability. Like I think about like a character being Uranus or a devil fruit being Uranus or the egg on Roger's ship being Uranus or a dragon being Uranus or a big bird being Uranus. I've thought about so many of them. Dragon being Uranus, Shanks, something to do with him being Uranus, Griffin, the sword being Uranus. I've thought about so many options, and this is just my opinion, right? So take it with a grain of salt. But when we have all the context about Lelucia's destruction and Vegapunk's broadcast and Mother Flame, it seems like to me the most probable option regarding Uranus is that it's an ancient weapon withheld by the world's government, and the reason why they haven't been able to use it was because of the similar reason for Emyth. If you guys remember, right, the beginning of Egghead Island arc, right? You guys remember the beginning of Egghead? Shaka and Stella walked up to Emyth. Remember when it was just a big robot on the ground and no one really knew anything? When they pointed at Emyth and they were talking about Emyth, right? Vegapunk explicitly said, I believe that the power source for this robot is that same abundant energy resource that we're trying to harness, right? So the point I'm trying to make is just like how they had Emyth and wasn't able to use him because they didn't have the power source, that's actually going to be a reflection of Uranus with the world government, where the world government and Uranus, right, they had an ancient weapon, they had technology, but they didn't have the ancient energy source, right? And to make things more clear, Ivankov strongly alluded to what Emu used being an ancient weapon. Vegapunk literally said twice or 2-3 times in his broadcast that he powered up an ancient weapon because he made Mother Flame, right? So I think with Uranus, I think it makes most sense that Uranus is a flying ship, right? Poseidon is linked to the ocean. So you could probably deduce that Uranus is linked to the sky. It just seems a little too ironic that what destroyed the Lucia was a flying ship. And to really drive this home even more, when you look at the Elbaf mural in chapter 1138, and you look at the far right side of the page, isn't it interesting how there's a flying ship shooting down energy and it looks just like the Arc Maxim? But wait a second. Enel and the slaves in Skypiea, they explicitly said that they were making the Arc Maxim the last 1 or 2 years. So if Arc Maxim was barely made and they only started building it like a year or 2 ago, why does the Elbaf mural have a flying ship shooting energy down? You know why? I think it's because the ancient weapon Uranus is a flying ship. It's like a UFO. It's a flying ship. The world's government wasn't able to use it this whole time. They had to settle for buster calls simply because they didn't have its energy. Are you American or Canadian? I'm American. MD Luffy with the 5. Thank you so much, brother. God bless. Can we just call him Woofy for MD Luffy? Thank you, brother. Evil. Emu has gamma-flied. I actually don't know what that word means. Gamma-flied. Yo, this man's going to give me better grammar, man. Gamify, apply typical elements of game playing. E.G, point scoring, competition with others, rules of play to an activity, typically as an online marketing technique to encourage engagement with a product or service. I like to, is it gamify? I like to gamify parts of my life to keep things fun. Oh, okay. I think I see what you're saying then. Let me go back to that message. Emu has gamified the world into a chessboard. He possesses the most powerful position, the queen. So Joy Boy has no other choice than invent the concept of worldwide pirate king. Ah ha ha. Ha ha. This guy. Whoo. Yo, chat, let this boy cook. Worldwide pirate king. A world sovereign would outrank Emu and possibly control him. Ooh. Hey, I'm not going to lie with you, brother. I do not believe that Emu is a woman. But let me tell you something. If Emu is a woman, I 100% believe your theory. Is that fair? And I've explained my position on Emu being a man like a million times. You've probably heard it. But I'll put it like that, MD Luffy. If you can convince me that Emu is not a man and is actually a woman, I 100% agree with your take. I actually like this take, even if Emu, right? Even if Emu is a man, you could still I could alter this take. MD Luffy, I could kind of like shift things around, you know? Like for an example, Emu gamified the world of One Piece and he's playing the king, right? But notice how in a game of chess, There's two kings. Ah, you see what I'm saying? So Emu is the black king. Emu's the black king, right? And Luffy's the white king. Yo, this is gonna sound insane out of context, but in a chessboard, Emu is the black king. Luffy's the white king. Only one king will remain standing, right? You get what I'm saying? What do you think, MD Luffy? She killed Joy Boy. That's what they keep telling you. What do you mean? Trans Emu? Bro, I'll drop One Piece. Lily is missing. Where is she? Man, that's a great question. Chat, where do you guys think Lily is? He has possessed her body? Well, I don't know about that one, brother. It could literally be as simple as like Lily knew too much. They had to kill her and erase her. And you could argue, oh well, I don't know. Why would Emu have this obsession with Vivi and Lily if he just killed Lily and erased her? It's kind of like maybe it eats away at his ego. Maybe he really did love like Emu. Maybe he really did love Lily, but she just straight up curved him. You know, she straight up denied him, and he was so angry that he killed her. Plus, by the way, she was affiliated with Joy Boy and the D Clan, so that also would anger him even more. You got to think as well, if Emu took Lily's body, why the obsession with Vivi? And I suppose you could argue like the obsession with Vivi stems from the fact that Emu doesn't want Vivi to realize that she's a D-Clan member. We know that Roger and Odin have prophecies of the future through Laugh-Tale. So by extension, you could probably say that Emu knows a little bit about the prophecies of the future. So he wouldn't want the D-Clan to realize who they are, right? So he wouldn't want Vivi to know she's a D-Clan member. Emu wouldn't want Vivi to realize she's a D-Clan member and then tag team with Luffy, who's a D-Clan member. You get what I'm saying? Why would Emu want D-Clan members to team up? That's like the worst case scenario for Emu. Emu could be transgender. God bless Sergio. I hope not. Wanted to be free and go with Joy Boy, then Emu killed her because Lily didn't want to marry him. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a whole trans thing. See, the Western mind is poisoned, brother. But you know, one thing that does kind of sway me, I'm not gonna lie, is like in some panels, you kind of get like this vibe that Emu's wearing a veil. I mean, like technically speaking, like Emu could technically be a male, like a man wearing a veil, but I don't know, bro. I don't know. Emu could have Domi reversing on her and turn her into a secret weapon. Yo, imagine like, is it? No, it's not possible. I was gonna say it could. Well, maybe it is possible. Could Gunko be? No, Gunko can't be Lily. No, that wouldn't work. Interesting that we're getting more reveals of the Rocks Pirates' prominent names, as if Oda's setting up a relative number of crewmates to the opposition in God Valley to set up a particular matchup. Yeah, I think when we look at or when we finally see the God Valley battle, you know, the full battle and its conclusion, I think it's gonna be nuts, bro. Silver Axe fighting, Shiki fighting, Whitebeard fighting, Big Mom fighting, Kaido fighting, Zebek fighting, Garp fighting, Roger fighting, Rayleigh fighting. Oh my. Yo, I think I'm finally understanding why people want the God Valley fight so bad. Like, don't get me wrong, I always like figure, like, yeah, of course we would want God Valley incident fight. Like Roger and Garp and Zebek. Like, of course that'd be so cool. But wait, that's not all though. Shiki, Rayleigh, Scopper, Silver Axe, Big Mom, Kaido. Oh my goodness, dude. That lineup of the God Valley battle is gonna be nuts, bro. I'll be so upset if Oda off screens it or if he just like speed runs it because he doesn't want to spend too much time. That would be so lame because that would be one of the most insane lineups, bro. Roger, Rayleigh, Scopper, Rocks, Silver Axe, Shiki, Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard. Did I say Shiki? Did I miss anyone? Garp. Oh my goodness. Dude. JR Rider with the 5. Thank you so much, brother. God bless. Thank you, Young King. Why do you think the Galila Pirates are so important to Rocks? Also, do you think Kaido had the Galila Pirates in mind while at Punk Hazard? It seems like Kaido didn't have the Galila Pirates in mind. I mean, actually, maybe he did, but not really. I would probably lean towards no. I think it was more like Kaido kind of hated Punk Hazard. He wanted to get out of there. He wanted to help King escape, you know? I don't really think Kaido himself cared about the Galila Pirates. But to answer your initial question about Rocks, well, first of all, the Galila Pirates are very, very strong. The narrative we've gotten so far about them, it's like alluding or implying a scenario where these guys were extremely powerful, right? Now, you could argue it's like, oh, well, Garp is very strong. Garp is stronger than the Galila Pirates. But then my rebuttal to you would be like, bro, that's like an unfair matchup because Garp is stronger than like 99% of people, right? So what I would say is that there's a lot of focus and attention on the Galila Pirates because they're so powerful, right? Maybe, you know, they're not as strong as Garp, or maybe they're not as strong as Zebek, but they're clearly being portrayed as very, very powerful. I have to go and find the recent chapter that mentioned them because I was under the impression that they're very strong. So of course Zebek would want that in his crew. Zebek was hunting for very strong people so that he could topple the world government and become the king of the world. Now, maybe there's also another like ulterior reason, or maybe Zebek had an ulterior motive. Maybe he wanted them to, I don't know, build a super ship or something like that. I don't know. But I would probably lean towards just the simple explanation that the Galila Pirates are hyper powerful. He wants to bring them back, have them on his crew with his other beasts on his crew. Yeah, that's what I would say. Is that a sufficient answer, JR Writer? I hope I answered your question. God bless you. Thank you for the super chat, brother. What if Garp and Sengoku caught the caught the Galila Pirates and trapped them in Punk Hazard? Yeah, I mean, I think that's possible. I mean, I would have to go double check the timeline because I don't exactly remember when the Galila Pirates were captured. But they would definitely need a strong force. Like, I highly doubt that the world government or the Marines sent out a bunch of fodder to take down the Galila Pirates. Like, when you look at like a regular giant, right? Just your no-name average Joe pirate, or I'm sorry, average Joe giant, right? He's gonna stomp fodder. Now, if we're talking about giant warrior pirates, he low diffs fodder. Now, if we're talking about ancient giants, that neg diffs fodder. Now, if we're talking about Galila pirates, I think it's like, I don't even know, negative infinity diff. Like, that's how I'm feeling. Because they also said the Galila pirates, didn't they say that a lot of them were ancient giants? I don't know. I just kind of, I see it as like the Galila giants being so strong, they would crush so many people. They'd be very difficult to take down. I mean, I was just talking about this earlier. Big Mom said it herself. If she could have the giants of Elbaf on her team, on her squad, she could take over the world. Shanks and Gunko, I'm sorry, not Shanks, Shamrock and Gunko, that's literally what they're saying too. If they can have Elbaf under their wing, if they can have all the giants on Elbaf, the ancient giants, the ancient warrior, or the ancient giants, the warrior giants, under their flag, they could just dominate the planet, right? So of course Sebek is going to be like, yeah, I would love to have Elbaf under my flag to take down the world government. Of course I want to go gather the Galila pirates because he knows that they're very, very strong. But in terms of the Galila pirates being frozen, I think the more interesting thing, guys, is like the idea that the previous ice user froze them. I think like that's a fun conversation because I think that would have been way before Aokiji's time, right, guys? Wouldn't that be way before Aokiji's time, Kuzan? Because I think it was, what was it, 48 years ago where Harold was talking about the Galila pirates being captured? So I think at least 44 years ago, they were already captured. And it seems like they were captured a while back from that point. But look, Aokiji, he's only 49, right? Kuzan's only 49 years old. So it would be impossible that Kuzan froze those giants, the Galila giants. That's impossible. When you factor in, one, the timeline, and two, Aokiji most likely got his fruit during his time or during his tenure as admiral. You could argue, okay, well, maybe he was born with the fruit. Okay, but still, he's only 49. It's impossible that... You mean like goo goo gaga? Goo goo gaga. Kuzan is literally sucking on a pacifier and he's freezing all the Galila giants. Like, come on, bro. That doesn't make sense. It was 56 years ago. Thank you so much. Shout out to Vincent. Shout out to Vincent. God bless. That helps a lot. Thank you. It was 56 years ago. And yes, they were long captured. Exactly. So if the Galila giants were long captured prior to 56 years ago, then it's literally impossible that Kuzan froze them. So I think it would be really interesting to see if it was perhaps an ice fruit. I think his fruit's actually the cool fruit. No, it's the Viz calls it the chili fruit. But anyways, I think it'd be pretty cool to see that Hiei no Mi used by, like, I don't know, a previous admiral or a previous character or something. That'd be pretty cool. Kong? No, that's not possible, brother. Kong is still alive. If Kong had the Hiei no Mi, it wouldn't be possible for Kuzan to have it right now. Oh, which reminds me, chat. If you guys were here watching the stream earlier, I did mention how I had a post yesterday about Loki and his devil fruit. I want to talk about that. Because we were having a conversation on stream yesterday about the legendary fruit of Elbaf, but I did some more thinking. Me and Dawn of Ascension, we did some more thinking, and I think I have a much better take on this. Why isn't it scrolling up, bro? Hold on. I gotta scroll all the way up because Discord isn't jumping to the message. Okay, I found it. Let me share this. Okay. Where's the evil sponsor? Yo, chat, who wants to be the sponsor of the stream? If you guys want to be the sponsor of the stream, hit the stream elements. Don't super chat and drop memberships. YouTube will take 70%, bro. Hit the stream elements. Thank you all for being here. If you guys are enjoying the stream, like the stream. If you guys want to support a content creator who does spoiler streams every single week, chapter reaction streams every single week, open mic streams where my viewers can join in mic on live stream with me and ask me questions and share their theories and stuff, subscribe to the channel. It costs you guys nothing to just drop a like on the stream, support a fellow content creator. But anyways, let's go ahead and read what I posted last night, chat. So, spoke to Dawn of Ascension, and I'm drawing this conclusion. Okay, chat? Class is in session, chat. Class is in session. I need everyone here to focus. Guys, grab your notebooks, grab your pencils, grab your erasers. We're going to focus, okay, chat? Because I think this is a very important line of thinking. I think that you guys need to know this. Every One Piece fan needs to know this, okay? I'm going to break this down very simple for you guys. If you guys disagree or if you guys have counter arguments or if you guys have questions, feel free to share them once we finish reading this, okay, chat? So everyone focus, everyone pay attention, everyone put your thinking caps on. Let's jump into this, okay, chat? So hear me out, right? If Elbaf has a legendary devil fruit tied to its mythology, and the story is that Loki stole it after Harold's death, then several things follow. First, Loki would have to be a devil fruit user. Second, the giant warrior pirates and Shanks all fought against him. If that's true, then they would have directly witnessed his abilities in combat. Given Shanks' mastery of hockey and his deep awareness of devil fruit powers, it is extremely unlikely he would confuse raw hockey for a devil fruit. If Loki did not show signs of a devil fruit ability, it would undermine the entire premise of the war over the stolen fruit. But the conflict happened, and the characters involved are too experienced to be mistaken about something so critical. Plus, Loki has made a big deal about being cuffed several times, implying that he's cuffed by sea stone cuffs. This means that the fruit in question must already be in Loki's possession, or at the very least, believed to be. This would disqualify any known fruits already held by other characters, such as the Nika fruit, the Yami Yami no Mi, the Ope Ope no Mi, whatever. Unless the Elbaf warriors are completely wrong about both the theft and the result. If the entire conflict with Loki was based on the theft of Elbaf's legendary fruit, and if the world's strongest giants and even Shanks came away convinced that he ate it, then the most consistent conclusion is this: the Elbaf legendary devil fruit is one we have not seen yet, and it is currently in Loki's possession. It's probably the Jormungandr devil fruit. Okay? So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Is this logically consistent? Are there holes in this take? Are there fair counter arguments? Am I taking too many leaps of faith? Are there logical fallacies? Let me know what it is about this breakdown. Me, myself, I don't really care if he has a fruit or not. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm just trying to come away with the sharpest, most likely outcome. And it appears to me that it would be very, very strange that all these characters, because we know for a fact, chat, we know for a fact, Shanks and all the giant warriors and the giant Elbaf, they all fought Loki. We know this for a fact. They all fought Loki and they chained him up. It just seems so bizarre that like they all fought against Loki and they were just hallucinating that Loki had a devil fruit. That doesn't really make any sense. And the thing is like they only, here's the thing, right? They're saying that he stole the legendary devil fruit. So what you would have to be saying is like, if you argued, right? Follow me, chat, follow me. If your argument is, oh, well, maybe Loki has a fruit, but it's not the legendary devil fruit of Elbaf. Do you know why that's actually a shaky take? The reason why that actually stands on shaky legs is because, again, all those people in Elbaf know about Loki and they know about his abilities. Even in the recent chapter, we saw young Loki running into town and beating people up. So here's my point. Everyone in Elbaf knows about Loki and his abilities. So you would have to say that Loki never had a fruit, and then at the same time, when the legendary fruit went missing, he also ate a fruit, but it wasn't that fruit. And I just think that's way too convenient. I think that's way too convenient. I think that takes more of a leap of faith then saying, no, he ate the legendary fruit. You get what I'm saying, chat? Do you get what I'm saying? Because they have to believe that he ate, or they have to have a reason to believe he ate the legendary fruit. You get what I'm saying? So if they knew Loki had a fruit before the legendary fruit, then they wouldn't be saying he stole the legendary fruit, right? Like if you saw Loki fighting everybody, fighting people in town every day, right? Loki's always running around, he's fighting people, and we know he has the devil fruit. And then like 2 years later, the legendary fruit of Elbaf goes missing. Why would you say, oh, Loki stole it? Because you know that it was stolen 2 years later. So obviously he didn't steal it, right? But they're saying he stole it. So my point is that you would have to say that at the same time that the legendary fruit went missing, Loki ate a fruit that wasn't the legendary fruit. And I just think that's too much of a leap of faith. Wingway, I'm glad to see you here. Let me know what you think, bro. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, right? And I mentioned this in the post. If you guys were following along, they hated Loki, and they had a whole conflict with Loki. Why? Because they said he stole the fruit. So they have to have a reason to believe that, right? If he had a fruit 5 years before it was stolen, they wouldn't say he stole it. Because this man already had a fruit. He was running around with devil fruit abilities 5 years before it went stolen. So obviously they wouldn't say that. So the fruit went missing. They went after Loki, and they're like, bro, you stole it. But if Loki didn't use any devil fruit powers, and Shanks would definitely be able to recognize that, then of course, they would have to have a legitimate reason for it. Yes, I just joined, but I listened to the current topic. All right, thank you, King J. So do you guys get what I'm saying? I think to argue that no, Loki actually ate a different fruit at the same time, I think like that's way too convenient. And I don't even know what the basis of that would be. I think like the more straightforward approach, the more Occam's razor approach, is that he didn't have a fruit before it went missing, right? Then at the same time the fruit went missing, he all of a sudden had a devil fruit ability, right? Because he ate that fruit. I think Shanks confirmed his usage of a devil fruit 6 years ago, but 14 years back, he escaped without confronting giants necessarily with a devil fruit. Okay, so what I would say to that, bro, is you could take part of that and you could use that to argue that Loki has a devil fruit, but that just makes the problem worse, right? For anyone that has an agenda and they don't want the legendary devil fruit of Elbaf to be eaten by Loki, that right there would undermine that agenda, right? So what I'm saying is if we believe that Loki ate a devil fruit, you have to wonder, why would they blame Loki if he didn't eat it, especially if he had his fruit way after the fact, or if he had his fruit way before the fact? It just doesn't make any sense. Remember, I said Luffy didn't reach its full potential hockey-wise. I bet Loki doesn't know what his true power is and used it and tied Loki up. He ate the fruit after his dad told him where it is. Wait, so are you saying that? Are you talking about the legendary fruit? Like Harold told Loki where the legendary fruit was? But that in a looking at the timeline, that would still be strange, because people would know that Loki has a fruit way before it went missing. Like, don't you guys see the problem in that? Bro, ignoring me? I'm not ignoring you. Trying to get around to saying it like it's his theory? What are you talking about? If it's a snake, it's perfect for Kaido, especially Jormungandr, because Kaido looks like an Oni, like Harold, and therefore Loki. Oh yeah, so here's another thing, right? Because me and King J were talking about this a while ago, right? So when you look at the possibilities for Loki's devil fruit, right? If you look at the idea that he has the Jormungandr devil fruit, it makes a lot of sense when you look at the context and the lore and the mythology of the Jormungandr. But I don't want to get into that right now. I want to pinpoint specifically, you guys remember how in Little Garden, Dorian Broggy said they couldn't pierce the blood-soaked serpent? And then in the recent chapter, Harold asked if he mentioned a blood-soaked serpent again. And then also in chapter 1138, the Elbaf mural, they mentioned a serpent of hellfire. I strongly see a connection of a serpent or a Jormungandr to Elbaf mythology, right? If Jormungandr is important to Elbaf mythology, then it makes sense that the Jormungandr devil fruit is the legendary fruit of Elbaf. You get what I'm saying? King J, I'm sure you can add to this, right? I'm sure you could add to this. If you believe that the Jormungandr fits the mythology of the island of Elbaf, the country of Elbaf, then it makes sense that they would have a legendary fruit of that deity, of the Jormungandr. And if you think that Loki having the Jormungandr fruit fits him, then there you go, right? Then there you go. There could have been a switch of the fruit when it was in Harold's possession, like the scenario with the treasure box on Fishman Island. I mean, I guess, but like I can't say, MD Luffy, that you're wrong or that's not possible or anything like that. I mean, like I think that would be unlikely. It seems like they really hid that treasure chest. They really hid the devil fruit, right? But I would say it's more of like a leap of faith kind of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, MD Luffy. Don't get me wrong. Someone can make a theory, right? That is completely a leap of faith. Someone can make a One Piece theory with no evidence and it's still true, right? But when we're talking about, you know, like sharing theories and, you know, trying to prove a theory and make good arguments, we got to have like evidence that, you know, has a lot of weight to it. So in the context, right, of them switching fruits, doing a switcheroo, I don't know, man. Maybe not. I always feel like my life is at a crossroads. Eddie, what should I do? Take that leap of faith? I think you should, if you're going to put your faith in anything, put your faith in Jesus. That's the only thing that's going to fulfill you, bro. It's the only thing that's going to set your morality straight. It's the only thing it's the only person that's always going to love you. Yeah, hey, Emirs, Jesus loved me even when I didn't love him. Jesus waited for me when I was out there wasting my life and wandering. He still loved me. He still waited for me, and he's the greatest thing to ever happen to me. And I know he's true. I've seen it. I feel it. I have that intuition. I've had that personal transformation. I've seen transformation in other people. So of course I would want to share that with you. Of course I would want to share that to my community. Like if you guys love One Piece, right? If you guys love One Piece and you think, oh my gosh, One Piece is the best anime ever. One Piece is the best manga ever. I love the flashbacks. I like the backstories. I like the world building. You guys are going to do what? You're going to want to go ask people and try to convince people and try to share One Piece. You guys are going to go ask your friends, yo, try to read One Piece, bro. Yo, start reading One Piece. Yo, when are you going to watch One Piece? You're going to want to share One Piece. Why? Because it's so integral to you. You love it. It hits your core. Jesus Christ is real. That's how I feel about him. So of course I'm going to share it. It's only natural. Since Zebek had many Conquerors hockey users in his crew, by the time Luffy fights Emu, I think you meant Emu, right? Fights Emu and his 16 immortal beings, he needs more Conquerors hockey users other than just Zoro and Dragon. Loki and Yamato as allies? No, like when it comes to Loki and Yamato, right? I 100% agree, and I like the take that Yamato will, you know, maybe be in the Grand Fleet, or maybe she'll lead a ship, or maybe she'll be I don't know, like an outside ally kind of thing, you know, like a VV or a Bon Clay. I'm 100% down for that, King J. I'm 100% down for that. But when we talk about like Nakama, and you're not saying this, but I'm just saying it for the chat, when we talk about Nakama, you know, on the ship, island to island, I don't get that vibe from Loki and Yamato, right? And it's just my opinion. I could be straight up wrong, but I just don't get that vibe. But you're saying allies. Yeah, I can see that, bro. I can see Yamato coming in as an ally in Final War. I can see that. I can see Loki coming in as an ally Final War, especially if Loki realizes that Luffy is the true sun god. And then we see King J, you remember this, at the end of the Wano arc, they were having dialogue about Joy Boy. You remember that? So if if one thing leads to another and Yamato's really buying into the whole Joy Boy thing, I could see Yamato helping Luffy. Why not? But I just don't think like Yamato would be in the ship, Nakama, eating lunch with Sanji. I don't get that vibe. I think it's a serpent. I leak it to Genesis with the tree of life, Adam tree, and the serpent in the garden. Yeah, that's a fun take. Y'all, if Evil doesn't believe Emu is a woman, how can you trust anything he says? Emu is also inspired by No Face from Spirited Away. Type Google. Yeah. I've watched Spirited Away like 12 times, man. It's a great movie. This whole chapter is Sanji upscale. Brother, what is in your pipe? Your theory, solid evil. Thank you, brother. There are excellent theories. Yes. Don has some of the best theories. For real, bro. Facts. My understanding is that there could be 2 legendary devil fruits on Elbaf. The one that was kept in the Sun Realm was Nika, and the one that Loki ate was in the bowels in the underworld. See, that's actually a fun take. That's actually pretty cool. Now, I do kind of a little bit, Vincent, just a little bit see a confliction where it's like, apparently, right, we have to see the chapter for itself, right? But apparently Zebek is saying one of the fruits are in Elbaf, so it seems a little weird that he would say 1 rather than 2, unless maybe he didn't know where the other one was, maybe. But I mean, other than that, I like that. I think the heaven realm, like the heavenly realm of Elbaf, it has to come in at some point. And you mentioned the Nika fruit on Elbaf. I totally understand that. I was actually writing all about that yesterday, Vincent. I think you might have missed yesterday's stream because it was timed very differently. But I went through a whole explanation as to why the Nika fruit would fit perfectly thematically in the Elbaf Arc and the Elbaf Island. I 100% agree. But, what just throws me off is Zebek saying one of those fruits is in Elbaf, So I don't know. Maybe what he meant was the Nika fruit. I don't know. Maybe like there is a legendary fruit in Elbaf and it's the Jormungandr and it's in that chest. But Rocks is saying, hey, there's a legendary fruit in Elbaf and it was a different one. Is that what you're saying? Well, I don't think that's what you're saying, actually, because you're saying Loki found in the bowels of the underworld. So what I would say, how I would shift it, Vincent, like me personally, right? I would say that the legendary devil fruit in the chest of Elbaf was the Jormungandr that Loki ended up eating. But when Rock said, hey, there's a legendary fruit in Elbaf, I got to go get it. Maybe it was a different fruit on Elbaf in the heaven realm or something, the Nika fruit. It could be something like that. Like, because you could say, like, Oda's setting us up to make us think that when Zebek wanted the legendary devil fruit of Elbaf, that he's referring to the one in the chest. But what if it's not the one in the chest? What if it's a different fruit? Wait, remember the old Zodiac theory? Bonnie is bunny. One animal that left in the straw hat is a serpent. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, dude, I forgot about that. Yo, see, King J, we got to start bringing back old theories, bro. Like, it's so funny because, like, there's so many One Piece theories that, like, we all just forgot about. And as the story progresses, we got to remember them because, like, a lot of them could, like, they seem to be having more information, like Oda's putting out, like, more facts and, like, building the narrative of the plot. We got to start pulling back the old theories, man. We got to start pulling them back. Yeah, old theories need to come back. Yo, years ago, chat, I wanted to make a website where the whole point of it is One Piece theories, and we just archive like every One Piece theory. Like one website where you could just find every One Piece theory. That way, like we could keep track of like information of the story and I don't know, foreshadowing and always go back to the old takes that we have. I totally forgot about that theory, man. I totally forgot about that. So is that true? Can you double check that? Your initiate. I think they meant initial. Your initial thought might be that's not the zodiac except for 3 of them. True. That's what I thought at first too. But if you compare the similarities of the animals in the color spread with the actual zodiac, they link up pretty well. We have Luffy equals monkey, Zoro equals tiger, Nami equals cat, Usopp equals chameleon equals snake, Sanji equals goat. Oh my god. Chopper red panda equals rat. Okay, that might be a stretch. Chopper red panda equals rat. Robin Falcon. Okay. Birds. Okay, fine. Frankie rhino equals bull. Brook giraffe equals horse. Okay, that seems a little random. So there's 3 left. First one, obvious. Carrot equals rabbit. Oh, thank God Carrot never joined the crew. Oda, that's probably the best thing you ever did, not putting Carrot in the crew. The second one will also be one, if not the favorite to be the next Straw Hat, which is Yamato, who was revealed not too long ago to have the Zoan Dog fruit. Last one left is Dragon. Maybe Loki. Would the Jormungandr would be a dragon too, wouldn't it? Check Robin's signature. It's a bird. Yeah. I see the bird. I see that one. But Usopp being chameleon or snake, that I don't understand that. That seems very weird. What was the other one? Brook equals giraffe. But is that Zodiac? Wait, there's no chameleon Zodiac though. Sanji fans wildin' for sure. Yo, every chapter is a Sanji downscale. Shanks equals rat. Bro, please stop it. Or snake? Wait, what's or snake? For which one, Eli? Genius, bro. Loki was born with snake eyes, though. He is Jormungandr, but doesn't have the devil fruit. Nah, actually, when I mentioned on Discord the idea of Loki being hold on. When I mentioned the idea of Loki having the Jormungandr fruit, someone actually made a good point. They think that the Jormungandr is a devil fruit and it was destined to go to Loki because of his eyes. I think that's actually pretty cool. Actually, no. Abigna, you might actually have a point, though. Maybe Loki is like an anomaly, like him as an entity is Jormungandr, so they thought he was the fruit. Maybe Loki is an anomaly, and he literally is the Jormungandr, the blood-soaked serpent, the serpent of hellfire. And when he unleashed his form, they thought it was a devil fruit. So then they're like, oh, Loki stole the fruit. Wait, is that what King J said? Chat, I'm sorry, King J. If that's what you said, I'm sorry. Guys, I'm trying my best. You guys know I'm not ignoring you. Elijah Sands, we love you, bro. I'm not ignoring you. Everyone in chat, you guys know it's very difficult for me to say what I want to say and read every message with sufficient responses. Just keep, if you guys really need me to respond to something, just post it, 2 or 3 times. Wait a few minutes and post it again. I'm trying my best to read everything, okay? But Loki himself literally being Jormungandr and they maybe thought it was a fruit would actually be really interesting. Abigna, that's a great point, bro. I also, though, as I just said, I like the idea, though, of, Loki having the serpent eyes. So the Jormungandr fruit was destined to, be his. Bro only reads super chats. Bro, the last 75 messages were not even super chats. It's so funny, L. Who was it? That one guy came in one time. He was so angry. He actually believed that. Yo, I can't believe you, bro. You're only reading super chats. Like, do you even watch the streams? My brother in humanity. I read like 100 or 200 regular chats a day, bro. It's insane. So is the red line the serpent soaked in blood? Is Loki just another serpent in his true form? Yeah, maybe something like that. maybe the real life Jormungandr, not like IRL, like what we live in, but in the One Piece IRL, like the real life Jormungandr became a fable for the Red Line. Yeah, L, I know you're just joking, bro. It was funny though when that one guy like came in and he was real angry and he was serious. Like, bro, let's be real. The only reason everyone says that Loki can't be a Straw Hat is because he's Yonko level. But as long as he doesn't fight Blackbeard's crew, it's fine. He'll be busy erasing the Red Line. Yo, Loki soloing the Red Line, that's nuts, bro. That's actually nuts. Emu, her zodiac sign would be the snake. She would be related to Usopp. Or Loki is just the reincarnation of Jormungandr, like Shirahoshi is the reincarnation of Poseidon. There's no fruit. Yeah, so TCG, I was thinking like the same thing, bro. But you know, it's a little rocky for me because you know Shirahoshi is an ancient weapon. You know, so I mean, you could argue like, okay, well maybe Loki is Jormungandr, he's Uranus. But when we had the whole conversation earlier about the world government having Uranus, I feel like that's a strong argument. I mean, it could be wrong. Even though it's like a strong argument, it could be wrong. Maybe the world government doesn't have Uranus, and the Jormungandr is Uranus, and Loki is Jormungandr, so Loki is Uranus. Instigating a crash out is truly beautiful. Yo, there is a huge crash out on our Discord server, bro. I'm not gonna name any names, but dude, this one guy, like I like the guy, don't get me wrong. In chat, don't start drama, don't start naming people. Like I like the guy, but I feel like sometimes he's a little too angry, man. I don't know, bro. He just really hates everything. Like everything is trash. Otis fumbling everything. Rox is trash. Rox's design is trash. 1156 is trash. This theory is trash. The power scaling's trash. BS, garbage, nonsense. Everything you say is trash. It's like, yo, like, don't get me wrong. I used to be just like him, bro. I hated life. I used to hate everything. Like anything you could say, I hated it. You know, thank God, you know, I've changed a little bit, but I don't know. That's not healthy. Chat, we need to pray for our friends, guys. We need to pray for our people. We need to pray for people, man. You never know what someone's going through, bro. Straight up. Chat, you never know what someone's going through. You never know like what someone's house is like and you know their living situation and their upbringing, bro. You don't know what people are going through, so we got to pray for people, you know. It's evil secret account. Hell no, bro. Tell him to write 2-piece, see what he could do. Exactly. Pray for your enemies. That would be wild, and I love it. Maybe a similar phenomenon with how every few hundreds of years Poseidon is born Shirahoshi, but I don't think Oda would repeat that. Just be the entity from Mural. Yeah. So are we talking about the Serpent of Hellfire, which seems to be the one on the right? I think most people agree that that big snake, I mean, like the literal serpent on the far right of the mural, 1138, that's a Serpent of Hellfire. Chat, would you guys agree with that? I feel like most people would say yes, right? Like when you guys read the text of the mural, 1138, and it talks about the Serpent of Hellfire, do you guys believe that big serpent on the right side of the page is that Serpent of Hellfire? I think yes. I think it's very obvious. I mean, the context clues are there, especially when like each world, you know, with the text matches the artistic depiction. What do you guys think, Chad? Do you think that big serpent on the right is the Serpent of Hellfire? The snake on top of the mural has the same patterns. Are you talking about the far right? I want to put the panel on screen, but you guys know YouTube, bro. Hold on, maybe I could put it small on the screen, man. That's just YouTube, bro. Like, come on. I'm literally helping you get more people to read your manga. Why are you trying to punish me? Okay, so are you talking about the one on the right with the X marks? Because I believe the one on the right would be the Serpent of Hellfire. Is that what you guys are saying? Is that what you're saying, Jay? Loki's a virgin. Okay. Dawn, aka Evil's real theorist. Yeah, she's the ghostwriter. Maybe every few generations an Elbaf warrior giant is cursed. Wait, it was interesting because remember in Harold's backstory, or I guess technically Loki's flashback, didn't they make a big deal about Harold having a child with like a pure bloodline? Maybe the idea is that like when two pure blood giants or like Elbaf royalty people have a child, they might produce Jormungandr kind of thing, like every few centuries. Because isn't Poseidon like the same thing? Like Poseidon is supposed to be the princess of Fishman Island. She's supposed to be like a fishman. Use the filters. I would have to use a different program, brother. The celestial dragons participated in the Uranus plan because they have cosmonaut outfits and Uranus would be a UFO. Surely the giant hat would perhaps be a part of the Uranus. Yeah. I really like the UFO take for Uranus. Wait, what happened to the spoilers? That would make Loki very special indeed, Wingway, because that'll be something passed down since the ancient kingdom. Because the mysterious man was at the Devil Fruit chest, likely who was Gabon referred to as absurd / strange hockey, which Gabon uses to refer to Shamrock / Gunko's arrival. What panel or what chapter do we see the mysterious man at the chest? Actually, I do remember. I think that was the chapter of Harold getting stabbed. Wasn't it like a bunch of fodder, or at least the vibe of fodder? Still no Zebek hair. I want a refund. Yo, I'm sorry. My job won't let me dye my hair, bro. Find me a Roxy Zebek wig. Find me a Roxy Zebek wig. I'll do a few streams with the Roxy Zebek wig. 1152. Yeah, I remember that now. Thank you. Y'all know the story of Kronos. One of his kids would overthrow him, so he ate them. Harold is the good version of that story. DJ with the 18 months, brother. Yo, I don't remember where my Dofi glasses went, bro. I can't find them. Yo, shout out to DJ chat. 18 months. Bro's on his way to 2 years. What is that, a year and a half? Bro has a year and a half. Look at that dedication, man. Look at that dedication. Look at that OG. No way Evil has a job? Yeah, bro, I'm surprised too. All right, chat, I'm not going to lie. I said this at the beginning of the stream. I'm very tired. I also have to get up very, very, very early tomorrow, bro. Chat, I got to get up real early tomorrow. Hey, but you know what? Today was a great day, chat. I hit core. We hit core. Today was our core day. We did hyper extensions. We did abdominal. We did the ab crunches. We did Russian twists. Then I went for a 20-minute jog. It was an excellent workout. Tomorrow is legs and core again. Let's get it. But chat, I got to be up so early tomorrow, man. Right now, it's about to be 12 a.m. here in a little bit. It's going to be 12 a.m. But I got to get up at least by 8. I'm not looking forward to that, bro. Got to wake up at 8 a.m. You packing? Hey, pause. I don't know what you're trying to say with packing. Usually, see, even he said Ayo. I think, okay, bro. I'm not even gonna respond to that. Night, hey, Abigna, God bless, brother. Take care, man. Did you take something? No, I don't take pre-workout or anything. I just have protein powder, and I try to get some caffeine. Not for workouts, but just because I can't live without caffeine, bro. And I don't know, I'm desensitized at this point, bro. Caffeine doesn't even do anything anymore. But if I don't have caffeine, life is miserable and I want to die. And I want to commit heinous acts of crimes. Can you ban the people saying the job slur? You should get into martial arts, bro. That would be cool, actually. Yeah, I'm about to hit the gym myself. W, bro. Get a good workout in. Hope you get a good workout. What if Uranus was a reference to the Apollo mission? That'd be pretty cool. You guys think they saw UFOs out there in space? I have to go. Bye. See you soon. Hey, God bless you, V-Swat. Take care, brother. Gladly appreciate you being here. Hope life is peaceful for you. Hope you are remaining strengthened. And I hope you have a nice day, bro. Bro gives the barista vibes. Heck no. You would never catch me as a barista, bro. I refuse. What do I look like working at a Starbucks, bro? Come on. We all know the types of men that work at Starbucks. I'm sorry. Someone has to make the generalization. I mean, come on, bro. There's only one type of man that works at Starbucks. Let's be real, chat. If you are male working at Starbucks, you are definitely... Can I say it? Space travel is fake. WhatsApp group when? Oh, man. I might have to do that tomorrow night for us. King J, what time is it for you right now? I think you might be around my time zone, maybe like 2 hours behind or something. King J, I might have to do it tomorrow night, bro. I'm too tired, man. I need to go brush my teeth and go to sleep, bro. In your habitat, don't try me, L. Don't try me, bro. There's TikToks of UFOs coming out the ocean. Yeah, bro. I'm so over the UFO subject, though. Like, everyone in the UFO topic is literally a grifter. Go work at Hot Topic. They'd be okay with Zebek's hair. There's supposedly a hostile UFO coming to Earth in November. Oh, yeah. They're going to just say it's like a space rock or something. Look up Project Fishbowl. What the heck is that? Is that like the zoo theory kind of thing? The logo is a siren to keep us hooked. They know how to target religious conservatives. Wait, what do you mean the logo? Oh, the Apollo logo. Isn't the Apollo logo similar to the atheist logo? Or am I thinking of something else? Wait, there's a lot of Apollo logos. Wait, what's the Apollo logo you're referencing specifically? I just Googled Apollo logo and there's like 30 pictures that just popped up. They're going to fake an alien invasion so that they can unify the whole world under one world government. Yeah, Project Bluebeam or whatever. All right, chat, listen. I'm exhausted. I don't know if you guys could see my eye bags. Need to get some sleep, chat. I wish everyone here a beautiful morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. Take care, guys. We will be live for the 1156 chapter reaction, so look forward to that. So there's a break after 1156, chat. This week is 1156. We should be getting the chapter tomorrow. There's a break next week, but since it's a magazine break, the leaks will probably drop early. Okay, so stay on the lookout. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord so you can keep up with my messages. I try to talk to people on my Discord server about stuff. Noti bell on the channel so you guys don't miss the streams. We'll have an open mic stream sometime soon. I'm looking forward to it. God bless all of you. Thank you guys for the super chats. Just being here, liking the stream, dropping the theories, the memes and all this kind of stuff, the jokes. You guys make this so much more fun than what it could be. Thank you all tremendously from the bottom of my heart. Take care, everybody. Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Take care, chat.
If the world hates you, just remember that it has hated me first. If you belong to the world, then the world would love you as its own. But I chose you from this world, and you do not belong to it. That is why the world hates you. Whoever hates me, hates my Father also. They would not have been guilty of sin if I had not done among them the things that no one else has done. As it is, they have seen what I did, and they hate both me and my Father. They hated me for no reason at all.